Hello, my name is Magdalena Nowak and I work for ENSO Group. This is a presentation entitled From Sustainable Organic Farming to Diet of the project Growing Skills on Farms for Budding Learners with Disabilities. What actually is sustainability? Sustainability is usually defined as the process and actions through which humankind avoids the depletion of natural resources in order to keep an ecological balance that doesn't allow the quality of life of modern societies to decrease. It is made up of three pillars: the environment, society, and economy. These principles are also informally used as profit, people, and planet. Human well-being is closely linked to the health of the environment. The food we eat has a massive impact not just on our health, but also the health of our planet. Since 1960, the world's population has doubled, increasing the demand for food and impacting on the climate and the ecosystems. There are concerns about current food consumption, particularly in the developed world, and its impact on health and the economic, social, and environmental sustainability of food production. The simplest way to understand sustainability is to think about what we can do to protect the planet's valuable resources, the communities in which we live and work by reducing waste and protecting nature. It's about recognizing we have a responsibility to conserve our planet for future generations. Organic farming in the context of sustainability. Organic farming is supposed to be environmentally friendly due to abandonment of external inputs, such as mineral fertilizers or pesticides. The motivation of initiatives such as Care Organic Farming supposed to combine food production in a sustainable way with social services and the integration and participation of vulnerable urban citizens. Activities in care and organic farming include gardening, preparing meals, and caring for farm animals. The combination of organic farming and care farming has benefited both the organic farms and people from vulnerable groups, for whom working or volunteering on farms is an excellent form of therapy, as it offers the opportunity to improve skills and the prospect of looking for a job. Social farming. Care farms are now recognized as community-oriented entrepreneurial services that contribute to the socialization of care and the empowerment and participation of participants, contributing to overcome recent challenges and changing demands in society, like the socialization of care, multifunctional agriculture, and alternative sources of income for farmers. The mixture of social and nature-based values in combination with practical and useful activities involving plants and animals can generate an informal, welcoming context in which a variety of people can participate. It has also been named with different labels, such as care farming or green care, thus underlying the aim to combine caring for people with caring for land. The interaction between agriculture practices and care provision shapes an area of hybrid practices and transdisciplinary research that had been conceptualized and articulated as connective agriculture. Food and agriculture. What makes your farm more sustainable? For sure, a company that tries to grow its crops by not using or using few toxic pesticides, focusing instead of organic farming and biomimicry practices, is certainly a less polluting one. Sustainable farming. Here are some examples of sustainable farming. such as animal welfare, looking after soils, biodiversity, for example, crops rotation, and limited use of water, like one of the ways is to collect rainwater to water your crops. How can we live more sustainable? Here is one of the examples of sustainability, zero waste movement. The zero waste movement is a lifestyle that encourages people to use all types of resources in a circular way, just like the natural world does. For this, people must refuse what they don't need, reduce what they are getting, reuse it, and recycle or compost it. Moving from traditional chemical-intensive household products to more environmentally friendly ones can be challenging. So here are 5 tips to help your cleanings become more eco-friendly and economical. The principle of 5R: recycle, refuse, reduce, reuse, and reform. Impact of current dietary patterns on the environment. Here are some facts about it. It is estimated that 18 to 20% of the total UK greenhouse gas emissions come from the food chain, from production, processing, transport, storage, consumption, and food waste. Meat, as well as dairy products, are one of the greatest contributors to greenhouse gas emissions in the UK diet. Much of the debate about the environmental impact of the diet has focused on reducing meat consumption and the role of vegetarian or plant-based diet, with a consensus that a diet lower in meat would be beneficial for both health and in the reduction of greenhouse gas emissions. 1/3 of food produced for human consumption is lost or wasted. Mass livestock production contributes significantly to greenhouse gas emissions and produces waste on an unimaginable scale. Remember that less is more. Meat's impact. Meat and meat dishes account for approximately half of the total greenhouse gas emissions in the diet. The World Cancer Research Fund recommendations for cancer prevention encourage people to limit the consumption of red meat to less than 500 grams a week, with emphasis on reducing processed meat like sausages. Cows are fed grass and grain to produce red meat and milk, and they naturally produce methane gas, a greenhouse gas which is harmful for the environment. The aim to achieve sustainable food production should be to try and reduce the population's consumption of meat and meat products through smaller portions and better quality meat. Quality and not quantity. The Live Well Plate. The Live Well Plate is the World Wildlife Fund advice on how to eat healthfully and sustainably. It's a visual presentation of a healthy and sustainable diet and illustrates the types and portions of food an average adult needs. It's based on Eat Well Guide, the UK government's recommendations for a healthy, balanced diet. But by adding environmental criteria to this, we have successfully demonstrated that it's possible to define a healthy, sustainable diet. RNI, recommended nutrient intake. Countries all over the world, based on scientific evidence, have set the levels of recommendations for dietary nutrients to promote optimal health. You can often find the term reference nutrient intake or RNI on food packets. A number of factors can influence the amount of nutrients we need. The recommended intakes will vary with things like age, sex, body size, certain psychological statuses like pregnancy and lactation, disease and infection, problems with digestion and absorption. Here is the dietary reference values recommended in the UK. On the diagram, you can see that 50% of the recommended reference values are carbohydrates. Another 35% are proteins, and only 15% are fat. The 6 live well principles. Here are the 6 live well principles about how you can lead a healthy, sustainable life. Number 1, eat more plants. Enjoy vegetables and whole grains. Number 2, eat a variety of foods. Have a colorful plate. Number 3, waste less food. 1/3 of food produced for human consumption is lost or wasted. Number 4, moderate your meat consumption, red and white. Enjoy other sources of proteins such as peas, beans, and nuts. Number 5, buy food that meets a credible certified standard. Consider MSC, free range and fair trade. Number 6, eat fewer food high in fat, salt, and sugar. Keep food such as cakes, sweets, and chocolate, as well as cured meat, fries, and crisps to an occasional treat. Choose water, avoid sugary drinks, and remember that juices only count as one of your 5 a day, however much you drink. Make small changes to your diet to make a big difference to our planet. Here are some useful strategies to be more sustainable regarding plastic. First of all, use less. You can use the cotton bags when shopping. You can inspire change by educating people around you. You can also recycle more by segregating your waste. Here are some tips about preventing food waste. You can shop smart. You can storage food correctly. You can get creative in the kitchen. You can donate surplus food and share with others. You can also keep your refrigerator arranged, save leftovers, compost, and reuse. How can I lead a more sustainable lifestyle? You may ask yourself. Here are also some tips that can answer your question. First of all, prefer organic food or choose local products of a high quality. Check the labels on the food packaging. Follow healthy lifestyle and a balanced diet. Be sustainable means also to choose sustainable diet. Try to use recycled things like clothes or buy new clothes made of resistant materials. Uses sustainable produced cotton, applies circular economy principles across its value chain, and uses less toxic chemicals. It is being responsible with the environment. Use sustainable transport such as public buses, trains, bicycle, unless someone is driving a car with 4 or 5 passengers. If you have an access to the garden, grow your own fruit and vegetables by using only natural fertilizers. Try to adopt the minimalist way of living following 5R principle. Refuse, reduce, reuse, reform, and recycle. And remember to turn the lights off. Do you have any more ideas you could share with us? Here, students can reflect on their living habits and observations of their surroundings. Is there anything they can do to become more sustainable? What can they do collectively and what in person? Here are some more tips regarding more sustainable lifestyle. reduce, reuse, recycle. What we consume and the packaging it comes in creates over a ton of waste per household per year. Here is how you can be part of the solution. First of all, refuse. Say no to plastic bags. Use clothes bags or backpack when shopping. Houses use up to 4 billion plastic bags a year. They last from 20 to 1,000 years in the environment and are a major threat to wildlife. Recycle. Always recycle paper and card. Recycling paper and cardboard containers reduces waste to landfill by up to 27% and saves trees. Avoid non-recyclable. Reduce. Make the move to clean energy. Switch to solar hot water. Good for the environment and good for your bill. Be sure to ask your electricity provider about switching to a renewable energy plan. Reduce your energy use. Cut your household emissions by up to 10% by using energy-saving light bulbs and up to 50% reduction by choosing energy-efficient white goods. Good for the planet and good for your electricity bill. Compost. Get a compost bin or worm farm for food scraps. Reuse. Don't throw. Upcycle. Did you know that over 90% of plastics and metal in mobile phones and batteries can be reused in new products? Reuse. Refill your own drink bottle. Single-use plastic bottles generate an enormous amount of waste that is ending up in landfill, oceans, and waterways. Refill your own stainless bottle and save money. Dietary guidelines for health and sustainability. Recently, experts integrated health and sustainable dietary advice into one optimal diet that meets both goals. The Eat Lancet Commission had 37 experts work for 3 years analyzing the best available data from around the world, resulting in the planetary health diet. Here are the recommended percentages and portions equivalent to what you should eat in a day. If everybody switched this diet, global greenhouse gas emissions would be reduced by 60% and premature deaths by 19%. Here on the illustration, you can see carbohydrates should compose 70% of our diet. Stretchy vegetables, 1% of our diet. Dairy, 4% of our diet. Animal source proteins, 3.5% of diet. Plant source protein, 12% of diet. Unsaturated fats, 9.5% of diet. Sugar, 3% of diet. Fruit and vegetables, 50% of diet. Take the Planetary Health Challenge. You might wish to follow the Planetary Health Diet for a day or more. If you are vegetarian or vegan, you will need to substitute the meat or dairy with high protein equivalents, example, soya milk or tofu. Try and think about how big a change would the Planetary Health Diet be for you. How would you feel? Is it fairly similar to your usual diet or dramatically different? Future food. Insects form part of the diets of many cultures around the world, and their consumption could increase, particularly in animal feed and processed foods. Insects are around 10 times as efficient at producing protein as mammals and grow much faster too. Artificial meat. Artificial or lab-grown meat, where muscle cells are grown in culture, can be another alternative. This could remove the animal welfare issue and some of the environmental problems associated with traditional animal production. But at the moment, the laboratory production is still quite expensive. What do you think about future food? Do you know any more examples? Use of new technologies to improve agriculture and environmental sustainability. Agricultural revolution, or in other words, precision agriculture, means the use of digital technologies designed to make crop and livestock production more accurate and controlled. Technologies include remote sensing, scanning of the farm landscape using satellites, GPS guidance and auto-steer systems, drones, robotics and telematics, the use of wireless audio and visual data. Future sustainable agriculture. Drones are unpiloted aircraft with mounted sensors and scanning devices to survey agricultural land. Drones are used to monitor yields and crop health, as well as environmental conditions including soil quality, weeds, and moisture levels. Drone surveys are a rapid method of monitoring the field environment that produces immediate data. Agricultural robots. Agricultural robots, agribots. These autonomous robots are used in fleets for manual harvesting and weeding, laser weeding. The laser beam kills weeds, ground monitoring and the application of agrochemicals. Agribots reduce labor costs and follow for inputs to be tailored to crop requirements. Sustainable social enterprise. A social enterprise is a cost-driven business whose primary reason for being is to improve social objectives and serve the common good. How to develop a social enterprise? Here are some tips. Idea. An idea should solve a real problem. A major reason why social enterprises fail is that often social entrepreneurs do not research enough about the problem they are trying to address, to solve with their business idea. Ideation process. Ideation is about generating, developing, and evaluating ideas for launching innovative and viable new ventures. Sharing your idea with others is critical to getting the feedback you need to turn your idea into a reality. Can be potential customers, beneficiaries, or someone from the target community. Use digital technologies. Reflect on social innovation aspect of your social enterprise. Social innovation refers to new ideas that work in meeting social goals. Create your business model for social enterprise. Build a team. Make the community a part of a team. Use marketing for social enterprise. You can also use funding for social enterprise. Here is the example of sustainable social enterprise. Fungo Box is a truly magical project created to demonstrate that coffee grounds, normally considered waste, can turn into fertile soil, capable of giving life to healthy, tasty, and sustainable mushrooms. FungoBox is the kit that allows clients to grow good and sustainable mushrooms at home while having fun. People who collect coffee waste and cultivate mushrooms are vulnerable and disadvantaged people from the local area. They meet with bar owners and each day collect coffee wastes from bars in order to use them as a soil for mushroom production. Think about other waste materials that you could use to create new products. Here are some suggestions: bread, old furniture, old clothes, plastic bottles. Crowdfunding. Crowdfunding is an increasingly popular alternative to traditional funding sources. It harnesses the power of social media to raise funds from online networks with shared interests. Crowdfunding is an inexpensive way of reaching thousands of potential customers and finding out what they think. Crowdfunding brings together a group of passionate supporters to fund a project that they believe in bringing to life. Instead of putting an order through for manufacturing your product, hiring staff, building a website, or investing in other expenses, you can create a campaign page and test how many people are interested in buying your product. You're able to go directly to your customers and sell your idea. Crowdfunding enables you to attract buyers who are willing to pay you cash today for the promise of you and your team fulfilling it at some point in the future. Launching a rewards-based crowdfunding involves putting together a 30-day online campaign comprising a video pitch, high-quality product shots, details on traction, business model, team and press. The campaign is used to secure pre-orders and sales to assess the demand for the product. Getting feedback from customers is a key component to building a successful product and company. Depending on the nature of your campaign, there are an assortment of crowdfunding platforms to choose from. So good luck, and thank you very much for listening of this presentation. In case of question, you can contact us on the following contact details. Email address email.info.enso.eu.com. You can also visit our website, enso.eu.com. You can find us also on Facebook, on Instagram, and you can also explore our resources on ENSO Academy webpage. Thank you very much again, and have a good day.